Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Perspective. I am Mario Salinas, Superintendent. I am joined by our Board President, Miguel Mike Farias, and Fine Art Director, Nelinda Villarreal. Today's topic is going to be about our Fine Arts program. Before we talk about Fine Arts, I do want to give an update to the community on COVID.
Okay.
COVID update. As far as the committee, some of you may know or may not know, we are providers for the vaccine. We vaccinate our community. We vaccinated all our staff, most of our staff, over 90% of our staff has been vaccinated. We turned our attention to our students, so students at 1 and 16 and older that qualify. Also, we offer them the vaccine. Some of them took up that offer and have been vaccinated. And now we turn our attention to our parents. We had a big clinic at Robert Vela maybe 2 weeks ago, where we send messages, text messages to all our parents that if they want to get a COVID vaccine, we are there. And I'll tell the parents right now again, if you're a parent of the district and you want a vaccine, call your principal or the school where you send your children, and we'll make arrangement to vaccinate either you, your parents, or your family.
Yes.
We're ready. So what we're doing now, sir, is we're getting away from the big clinics that we have at Robert Vela High School. Now we're going into communities, targeted communities,
Real good.
where we have some of our parents that are harder to reach because they have commitments at home. Either family commitments or other hardships that make it very difficult for them to go to in town to get the vaccines. Now we're traveling to their communities. Last week we went to Hartwell and Avila community to vaccinate over there, where we vaccinated over 300 parents. We also went to McGee to try to target that west side neighborhoods, and we vaccinated almost 200 parents over there. This week we targeted San Carlos Elementary to try to get those families as well. Next week we probably go to the southeast side, Esparza, Betts area, try to vaccinate those parents. So we're going out there to try to get these parents that it's just difficult for them to go into town for whatever reasons, and we want to make it easy for them because we want to be part of the solution so that we can get back to normal. And we are getting back to normal. We've had very few cases of COVID. As you know, we've made an effort to get our students back to face-to-face instruction, so we can start addressing the learning losses that our students experience. And we are getting back to we're approaching now over 8,000 students attending for face-to-face instruction, including my son. My son is out there, and every time I take him to school in the morning, he said, "Dad, it's so much better to go face-to-face. It's almost as different from black to white, even though when I was quarantined at home, I'm listening to my teacher through the computer. It doesn't compare to when I'm there and the teacher's there and I'm talking to her and I ask questions and they come and help me. And my grades are improving, and they are.
And they are.
His report card came out this past weekend. His grades were the best that we've had all year. Of course, the face-to-face interaction, not only with the teachers, his friends, he's interacting with his friends. And then after school, he's participating in athletes. I mean, it's just so much better, sir, as you know. And
And we've been encouraging the parents to come out. If you have any questions or concerns, come and physically check out the school yourselves, and call the principal and say, you want to walk through to see where their child's going to be taught and the precautions we're taking, and you will see that we are very, very strict when it comes to the safety of everybody that comes to our district. And that way you have peace of mind knowing that you can send your child, your student, to a safe environment. So that's of utmost importance. And I'm glad the schools opened up for the parents to come and see for themselves.
Right.
Sir, if the schools were not safe, I would not send my child.
Yes.
But they are safe, and where we're getting very few cases this week. So far this week, we've had 3 students that have turned out positive for COVID. They picked up the disease from home in the school. I mean, we're talking 43 campuses. We've had 3 students, 1 staff member who turned out positive. And that staff member happened to not get vaccinated. He opted not to vaccinate. So the vaccines work, and most of our staff
Yes.
are vaccinated. A lot of our students are vaccinated, and the cases of COVID are getting rarer and rarer on campus.
You know,
And I do want to emphasize
Yes,
that
ma'am.
the schools are safe.
Yes.
My granddaughters, my grandchildren are coming to school. We're sending them back to school. I've encouraged my children to send their children, my grandchildren. And you're right. They came home and they don't want to stay home. They want to go to school
Yeah.
because that's where the action is. That's where the interaction is. That's where they're learning, and they missed it. And we see it now as we open the schools up more after school. Saturday practices, after school practices, we see it with the students. They're hungry for all of that. And we see it with our personal children.
Yes, and you know, when you put it into perspective, you take your child and student to Walmart. You take your child and student to HEB. You take them to all the other activities out there, and they're not wiping down after they touch the box. They're not wiping down after all these things. But us here in the district, we are, and we're enforcing. I mean, they don't enforce the 6 foot rule at those locations,
or the mask wearing.
or the mask wearing.
mask.
Here we are. So even though when you put it in perspective, you allow your students and your children to go to all the other locations, which really aren't as safe as ECISD.
Yes, and sir, we've been battling COVID for over a year, and I'm not an expert. We're not experts.
No.
But we're
No.
very knowledgeable when it comes to that because we've been in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can tell you with confidence that the protocols that we have in place work. I tell my son, when I drop him off, Mario, wear your mask at all times.
Yeah.
And when you eat by yourself. And if he does that, and they enforce that on campus nonetheless, if he follows those simple instructions, wear the mask at all times, eat by yourself, he's going to be safe. He's going to be safe, and all other children are going to be safe. I am very confident of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move on to today's topic. Before we go to the fine arts, I do want to remind the parents out there, we do have full day pre-K for next school year for
Yes.
those parents that want it. The only qualifying criteria is that the child is 4 on September the 1. I do want to tell the parents out there that we are going to have a full slate of after-school programming, not babysitting. After-school instructional programming, high-quality programming for our students. We
Yes, sir.
feel strongly one of our priorities in the school district is to have high-quality after-school programs. And the reason for that, sir, is that we don't believe that 8 to 4 is enough time to do what we think we need to do with our children so that when they
Yes.
graduate from our schools, not only can they graduate from college, they can succeed in the workplace.
Yes, sir.
Or they go straight to the workplace, they can succeed in the workplace. And we believe the value of after-school programming, the social skills that children pick up when they participate in these activities, the rigor of the instructional programs when it comes to the programs that we teach after school and the smaller student-teacher ratios, we think all of that helps. The camaraderie, the brotherhood that the students experience, beginning when they're in pre-K all the way through the high school, we believe is invaluable. That separates us from all these other schools that try to compete for our children. They don't have the resources, the infrastructure to compete. Resources, I'm talking teachers, human resources. They don't have the resources that we do. They don't have the economic resources that we do. Plus, we don't have, especially the expertise. So it's a big effort for us, a big initiative for us to have of the highest after-school programming that we can offer. And I know that fine arts is a big part of it.
Very big
And that's
part.
what we're going to talk about today. Ms. Villarreal, talk about
Yes, and we're
the
really
after-school
excited.
programs that we have in store for this summer for our students. Because as
Okay.
you know, we're going to have summer school for all our students.
Yes, we
At
are.
the elementary, at the middle and the high, all students are welcome for summer school. As is step number 1 to address the learning losses that
Yes.
we know our children experience.
Yes.
Step one of many steps is that we're going to address this summer. Ms. Guerrero, you want to talk to us about your part of the after school, of the summer school programming?
Yes, and we're really excited to be part of it. So first of all, thank you for having me here and for allowing me to explain what we're going to be doing and how our fine arts program works here in the district. And before I go into that, I just want to say it's the belief that Dr. Salinas stated right now that the district has that has awarded us some national recognition and some state recognition because of that belief and commitment and dedication and giving students a well-rounded education with opportunities for students to discover their passion and follow that. That's why we've received the National Association of Music Merchants Award because of the commitment that the district has in music. And then we've received state awards in art. Our visual arts department for the district has been one of the best in the state. We are one of 47 districts in the state, so that's an amazing recognition, and that's all due to the commitment and dedication the district has, the value that it's putting in its arts, and we're just excited of being part of some new initiatives that we're going to be putting forth. One of them starts with the summer. We are going to be part of the summer school program. Every elementary is going to have a music teacher at the campus to give instruction to every student enrolled in the summer program. It's going to be an enrichment program, but as Dr. Salinas said, during the year, students are offered one class a week. And therefore, we have to stretch it out to the after school as an extension of the classroom. So our music teachers provide class in music, either in vocal or instrumental, throughout the year. In the summer school enrichment program, students are going to be exposed to music every day.
Nice.
And so that's going to be something awesome to bridge the gap to enforce skills that students have to really have fundamentally in music so that they can go into the next
singing
year.
or
We're
instruments?
talking
or?
instruments, we're talking singing. So it's going to be well-rounded. The great thing about our elementary music curriculum is that it embeds theater in there, it embeds movement, which is dance in the music curriculum, but it also embeds the social emotional learning components. So all 5 CASEL components are embedded into the curriculum, which we all know this year, because of the challenges that we've met this year, that's critical in learning and bringing the student back and making sure that the student is well emotionally and physically and psychologically. And we're doing it through music and dance and theater. So it's exciting.
And what I love is the exposure that all the kids
all
are going
kids.
to have the opportunity. And because so many times, we don't know what our niche is or what we really enjoy or what we're good at until we're exposed.
Yes.
And now I'm so excited because not only a select few, but everybody that is willing to participate is going to have the opportunity to participate. And who knows, they may have a gift in singing or a gift in art or a gift in dance or a gift in musical, either guitar or piano, or you never know. And so many times, there's so many diamonds in the rough that are never found or exposed because they weren't given that opportunity. So I'm excited that Edinburgh is giving everyone that opportunity to find their niche. Like I said before, life is too short to not enjoy what you do for the rest of your life. And if you can find that niche and explore it and see how you can incorporate it for a lifelong, so you can use it lifelong and make money while doing it, I mean, that's even better.
That's great. And you got something here when I heard that they'll enjoy, because if they're having fun, they come to school to learn.
Yes.
But they have to learn. They have to have fun learning.
Yes.
And so if they're having fun learning, in something of their choice, in something that they find a passion in, they're going to come to school. So campuses are going to experience higher attendance rate. Campuses are going to experience less discipline problems.
That's true.
And campuses are going to experience high academic ratings if
Less-
they
less-
have
less
a
dropouts.
very strong
Yes.
And less
fine
dropouts.
arts program, very well developed and strong fine arts program. That's the belief that the district has in this. And this is why we're going to be investing in our elementary kids, because it starts there. It starts with them. Now, once they progress, so we're excited about the summer. We're excited about the new initiative that we're going to do next year with elementary, and that is provide a full standing after school enrichment program with music embedded in there, with choir, with instrumental embedded in there as well. So it's going to be an extension, like I said, of the classroom, because you can't learn everything in one 45-minute segment a week.
What I envision,
Therefore, we have
what
the
I
after
envision
school.
that we're gonna do when school starts next year to take advantage of the expertise that we have and to emphasize this after school program. I envision a typical student at the elementary school on Monday after school, the student may be in UIL math, let's say.
Yes.
On Tuesday, that same student may participate in keyboarding after school. On Wednesday, they may participate with the Christian club. On Thursday, they may participate with a fitness club. Then on Friday, they may do competitive chess or whatever, any assortment of
Or
program
robotics
offerings.
or any
Robotics, but yes,
We have
It's
all
endless.
kinds.
It really is.
it's endless. And
Theater.
Yeah.
I mean, we have whatever. We're gonna offer all of that to see what is it that the children like. I have two sons. One is likes athletics, and the other one likes fine arts. He doesn't want to touch a basketball. The other one doesn't want to touch a piano. So, I mean, and they're from the same father and mother, right? They're completely different. One's fine arts, one's athletics. But he that's the way it is. I would imagine for most families. And
For
the other
most,
thing I want to say about the fine arts, the research says all of it is that fine arts is good for the brain.
Very
All of
good.
it.
There's a lot of neuroscience research that is being done on the brain of students that are exposed to fine arts at a very early age versus those that are not exposed to fine arts.
It's like
It's a
learning two
science.
languages.
Yeah,
It really
it's
is.
a
Really what it
language.
is. And that research says that when you do the either keyboarding or some other fine arts, you activate part of the brain that if you didn't do that, that part of the brain would never get activated. So we know that the fine arts and
Plays a
Are
critical role in the
critical role in the
development of a
development.
child.
Yeah, and you know, it also helps with social skills and well-rounded individuals.
Well-rounded.
Because when you get involved in groups like that, you have to interact. You have to work as a group. You have to figure out things as a group, and you have to be a team player. You got to be a team
You
player.
have to,
So.
yes.
and when you go to the workforce,
That's exactly-
how are those skills gonna
Exactly.
compensate? for,
Exactly.
you know?
I mean, those are all the skills that you learn that you can evolve later on as you grow up in the workplace, in business, and really just socially. Now, what I love about this is we're coming out of a pandemic and we're dealing with issues that are unknown to us, but they're going to be coming in with these children having social issues of not being able to interact or talk or converse or hang out. Well, this is a perfect opportunity to go ahead and you can also evaluate the ones that may have some issues coming back, and we can address them. But the way that we expose them, instead of going through our diags, through our extracurricular activities and through our after-school programs, you can notice, this one child's having a problem socializing. There was one problem. This one child seems depressed or something of that nature, and then we can help them and assess them and meet their needs.
It is a benefit of having these fine arts programs and these extracurricular activities. The benefit is that we're not only nurturing a talent, we're not only helping them find their little niche in life, but we're also giving them skills.
Yeah.
that are going to be lifelong, skills that are going to go into the academic classroom to help them be successful, skills that are going to help them be a successful adult in whatever they do in life, because it has shown that these students become students that are involved in the fine arts, music, dance, theater, visual arts. They become creative, the creative thinker. They learn how to be analytical. They learn how to collaborate. They learn how to be innovative thinkers. And these are qualities that many CEOs, when I was sitting on a board with the Texas Minority of Engineers, about 2 summers ago, there were CEOs on that board, and one of the things they said is, these are the kids, we want kids that are innovative thinkers.
Yep.
We want kids that can think outside the box,
Yes.
that can create, that know how to work with a team, because the skill part of the job can be learned. It's these other skills
Good, very
that
correct.
they gather from being in these extracurricular
you're just-
activities that cannot be learned.
You're
They have to be
describing people that we
practiced.
look for. You're a boss, and sometimes when we look for employees, those are the skills that we look for. Because you can train
Yes.
them. You're right.
We can
You
train
can
the
train
skill
them to
learn a
certain-
skill, but the traits are practiced,
Yes.
and they're practiced every day from the moment that they can learn how to talk.
You know, one of the successes of Chick-fil-A isn't necessarily their chicken sandwich. It's their service.
Their service.
Exactly.
It's their service. And when you go into a Chick-fil-A, the way they converse, it's their pleasure to serve you. Where do you ever hear that? You know, sometimes you go somewhere and it seems like you're bothering somebody when you ask them a question, but they got it down. I mean, don't get me wrong, the chicken sandwich is great, but it isn't all that they got lines and
It's the
lines and
service.
lines, and
It's
they're
the
even closed on
service.
Sunday. It's such a big demand.
It's the service.
It's the service.
Exactly.
And these are the kind of social skills that people like that are looking for, and the trend is going to be going on service, because you could have a substandard, not the Chick-fil-A, I love Chick-fil-A, but the service is really what puts them over the top. And I've heard of other companies going to them to learn how they do that, how they deliver that service.
Right.
And it's such a simple concept, but if it's implemented correctly, the success is there.
Yes.
And in different areas too. I mean, I've been in different places where my wife and I, we do a lot of traveling, and we go to certain places because of their service, the attitude, the working together. You can tell when you go in and it's a good unit and they're all gelling and they're all working together. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what this does. It teaches them how to do that. The set skill is one thing, and how delivering the set skill is another.
Right.
It's a totally
And that's why it starts at a very young age. And that's why we're kicking off this initiative that we need to have these very strong programs in music, in chess, in robotics, all the extracurricular. We have to have them really strong in our elementaries, because it starts there. We need to build these skills. Because once they leave 5th grade, now they go into middle school. And in middle school, it's a different dynamics. So they have to have those tools in order to be able to be successful in middle school. So what is the fine arts program like in the middle school? In middle school, we start separating the fine arts programs into different specific areas. So in the area of music, we offer band, choir, orchestra, guitar, mariachi. In the area of dance, which is a very well-kept secret, but we do offer dance, and we have a full-time dance program. And these are for students that can't go and pay $200 or $300 to get dance lessons. We have certified dance teachers that will be teaching dance starting in the 6th grade.
Nice.
And we have them at every campus now. So we have also theater, and we have the visual arts. And in each one of those disciplines, in each one of those courses, it goes by skill level in the middle school. So how do we know whether to put a child in a level 1, which is a beginner, or a level 2, which is a little more experienced, and of course a level 3, which is advanced? we go down to the elementary. So how well they're prepared in the elementary, or what skill sets that they bring in terms of their music ability, art, theater, or dance ability will allow them to go into any of those levels or an advanced level. For the student that doesn't know yet, that's the exploration, and that's where the district has a belief that every sixth grader is going to be enrolled in a fine arts program.
Yes.
Because they don't know yet what they want, perhaps. And so it's our obligation to help them discover that niche that they want. What does that do then to the elementary student? It makes them become involved in school. Again, we go back to high attendance, less dropout rate, fun in learning, something that they are discovering and exploring. And so it just builds up on that more and more. In middle school, we have, again, an extension of the classroom because, again, we cannot learn everything in a 45-minute or 1-hour class. We have to bring those students after school to then apply and gain a higher performance level and apply what they learned in the classroom. And that's through practices, sectionals, dance, theater, in all the areas. Because at that point, they become now competitive. We go into UIL, we go into TMEA, we go into the VACE competition. So in every area, there's some competitiveness for these kids to now, as they've established and acquired these major skills at the elementary in terms of how to collaborate and analyze and create, now they're going to use those skills now to be a little bit more competitive. Because as we all know, in real life, there's always competition, and we need to be able to know how to compete in a healthy way, how to accept criticism in a healthy way, constructive criticism, how to communicate when we go into competition, not only verbally, but also non-verbally. So we have to learn now specialized skills through a talent that we're going to nurture. So again, the fine arts plays an incredible role in building that student, building the child, well-balanced child for all children, not just certain children, but for all children.
The constructive criticism is important.
Yes, it is.
I've always felt that way, especially with the after-school programs. I used to be a coach early in my career. Constructive, the athletes, you ask them to do a certain exercise, a certain skill, a certain way, and if they don't do it, you bring it to their attention. That's constructive criticism. It's good for them because that's like, I was their first boss. I told them, this is the way I want you to execute this drill. This is the way we do it. And if they don't do it exactly the way I asked them to do it, you bring it to their attention. That's constructive criticism. I was like their first boss. So when they go out to college and they work at the theater part-time, and the theater manager tells them, I need you to do the popcorn this way, and sell the soda this way. They need to follow instructions, right? If they don't, they're gonna bring it to their attention. Same thing with the musics. They want these students to execute a certain notes or drills a certain way, and if they don't do it that way, the band directors are gonna tell them, this is the way you do it. Constructive criticism.
And the beautiful thing
Or
is,
judges, when they sit in front of judges, they have to
that's a good
accept
point.
the criticism of the judges, because at that point in secondary, any event that they're going to now or preparing for, they're sitting in front, they're being evaluated. And they have to learn how to take that evaluation, learn from it, get better for it, and then move forward.
Life lessons. And then the confidence level. I mean,
it builds.
the confidence level, the life lessons. So many times, I as an employer come across individuals that when they get when they're corrected, and they get offended, and it's like, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to show you how to do your job better. I've been there, done that, and that social skill of being corrected. So many times people have a hard time with that, and you're correct. When you go before the judges, The judges are sometimes brutally honest,
Yes, sir.
and
Yeah.
they'll let you know this, they'll let you know that, and but it just makes them better.
It makes them better.
It makes them better.
Helps them
Yes.
get better in something.
To wrap it up, Mrs. Villarreal, how are the fine arts going to be infused into our summer school programs at the elementary, middle, and high?
At the elementary, like I said earlier, we're going to be offering music to every student that is enrolled in elementary, and we're going to offer it, and hopefully they'll have music every day in their schedule. In middle school, we're going to offer the whole full gamut of the visual and performing arts. So all students enrolled in middle school will be able to enroll in any one of those courses that we're going to be offering. In high school, it's a little different. In high school, we're going to allow them to do their camps as they usually do in preparation for all of the activities that happen, because at the high school level the fine arts cannot stop. It's a year. When you're building skill, it's year long. And in the fine arts, performing arts, the visual and performing arts, a lot of the music programs begin to audition in September. So as most students are just coming back into the swing of things, we've already been into the swing of things, because we have to have them ready by September in order to be able to hone in on some of those auditions that they want to do. So those are some of the things that we're going for. UIL Academics is also part of this department. UIL and Fine Arts just infused together, and UIL Academics, we offer so many events for students to be competitive, and it starts in the second grade where they can start competing in UIL. And it's really interesting to know that a lot of these kids have and stay with the program until they're in 12th grade. So in elementary, we have 13 events that we're going to be doing. Middle school has 19 events that are competitive, and high school has 22 events that are competitive, up to 22. And in the middle and in summer, what we're going to do with UIL Academics is something new this year. We are going to offer training for elementary teachers to be coaches. And so we're going to give them the tools to be successful. It's a full day training. They can choose 1 or 2 days. And then they're going to turn around the following week. The first week of August, we're going to have, for the first time, a UIL academic camp for students.
Nice.
At each campus.
Very nice.
So each campus will have their academic team coming in and starting to prepare for the year of competition. At the elementary, high school, and middle school level, we're going to have it all year. It's going to be a little bit different with elementary. We're going to use the fall to prepare students, and we're going to kick it off with the summer camp in August. And we're going to have the competitions, the tournaments in the spring, so that it's an all-year event for
Very
the
nice.
students.
Because
We've shown, it shows that these
happen-
kids are high
I
and
happen
they
to think
succeed.
that when it comes to UIL, nothing rivals UIL for academics, for the rigor, and for preparing our children to do high-level academic work
High-level
at
academic,
any
yes.
of the colleges in the United States. I am a firm believer that UIL is the best kept secret in education in Texas.
Yes.
I believe in that 100%, and we're fully committed
Because
to
the
the
teachers,
UIL
yes.
programs, beginning at the elementary and on through the high school. For all those parents out there,
Yes.
we're going to offer them.
And again, it goes back to the rigor is there at academics UIL. So the child is doing math in the class, but if they're participating in UIL math, they're getting a higher level of math skills that they can come back and employ in the regular classroom, hence for success. And so we also find that students are involved in both fine arts and UIL.
It's just
So
it
it's
enhances
the same. It just enhances everything all the way around. So
For-
there's
for,
so many benefits.
For UIL, it's probably a topic for another perspective.
Yes, sir.
It's important, and
Yes.
the parents need to know the value that some parents probably know, but a lot of parents do not know the value. But that's a topic for another perspective. But today it was about fine arts, and we didn't cover everything. We covered most of it, but we're out of time. And thank you for joining us for the Superintendent's Perspective. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you.